Hello beaders, it's Jerry. Welcome back to Beachside Bead Boutique. And if you are new here, welcome and thank you so much for joining me. Please like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell and you will be notified of all my uploads. And on my channel, I do jewelry DIYs, bead unboxing videos, and bead hauls. And today we are going to be making some boho beads, handmade, and a boho bracelet. So I'm sure you've probably seen boho beads before. Let me just show you some that I have already previously made. So these are boho beads, and they are so fun to make, and they are such bright colors, and you can mix, you know, any kind of materials you want with any kind of beads you want. You can use up scrap material and bead soup mix. I mean, it's just, they're very versatile, very fun. People use them, I know, in journals. You could use them on your bag or purse. You could use them for jewelry or even just little gifts. They are, like I said, a lot of fun and so pretty. And I truly love the boho style of them, of just, you know, kind of mismatched and using different beads with different patterns, different colors. So I really love making these. So this is what we are going to do today. So stick around and I will show you how to make them. Well, for my boho beads, I'm going to use bandanas. As you can see, I have a lot of them. Okay, a whole lot of them. And they are really cheap. So if you do want to use bandanas, I mean, you could get them from Hobby Lobby for 99 cents. And I got a stash from Amazon for really, you know, reasonable. And I just love the bright colors of these. So I just thought it was a very good choice for me to use these. See, yeah, a whole lot. I also have these bandana scraps too that I will probably use on some of them. And then you will also need Mod Podge. And I have these bead caps that I'm going to use with them. They're mixed bead caps from Amazon. You will need some straws. I have the plastic ones, but you could use paper if that's what you have. And I have this 18 gauge wire in assorted colors. And also I have this 26 gauge wire. You will need your hot glue gun, and you will need round nose pliers, flush cutters, and bent nose pliers. And I have a whole lot of bead assortment to use with our boho beads. And these came from Hobby Lobby. And that is in my Hobby Lobby bead haul video that you should also check out. And then I also have these gold beads in assorted sizes. And this is my bead soup mix. So I might pick some beads out of here as well. And then also you would need a paintbrush. So to get started, we are going to cut the straws in various sizes. And this is going to determine how big the bead is going to be, because that's going to be the base of the bead. Next, I'm just going to pour out some of my Mod Podge so I can dip the straws in there. First, I'm going to dip my straw in the Mod Podge to coat it with the glue. And I'm using my tweezers to hold it. And I'm going to take my bandana and just cut. First, I'm going to cut the edge that's sewn. And I'm just going to pull that off. And I'm going to keep that for scraps. And then I'm just going to cut the bandana to get it started and pull it apart. We want it kind of rough and torn. That's the way I like it. And then I'm going to take my bandana and roll it around my straw several times, making sure that it has glue on it. So I'm just going to keep coating it, keep sticking it in the Mod Podge and rolling it on my straw. And then I'm going to cut the edge and dip it in the Mod Podge one more time to seal it. And I'm going to take my paintbrush and dip it in the Mod Podge and coat it all over the bead that we just made. Make sure you get the ends really good. And then I'm going to take just a piece of the scrap of bandana and roll it around on top of that bead just to give it a little extra dimension and color. You don't have to do this. Like I said, I like mine bright and bold. And this is definitely bright and bold. Make sure the edges are sealed really well. And then I'm just going to continue to do the same thing. Dip the straw in the Mod Podge, take my piece of bandana, and roll it around the straw, making sure that the straw is covered and making sure that you dip your bandana in the Mod Podge to make sure it sticks well. And then I'm going to take another piece of scrap bandana and just cover it over the bead that we just made. Making sure that you leave some of the color underneath to show through, obviously. But we just want to give it a little, just lots of color. Make sure that it is stuck down really well. And again, one more coat of Mod Podge to seal it up. And I'm just going to continue doing the same thing with different pieces of bandana. Now I'm going to take a piece of my 18 gauge wire and measure it about 18 inches and cut it there. And then I'm going to use some of my blue beads and my purple beads. And I'm just going to loop the edge of the wire, making a coil. And then I'm just going to smash that down and then place it on top of our bead. And you want to wrap it really good around the edge of the bead, making sure that it's secure. And then I take some of my beads that I have and place them on the wire and then wrap the wire tightly around our boho bead. And I'm just going to continue doing that, adding beads and wrapping the wire around the bead. And as you can see, I'm not doing a neat wrap. Now when you get to the edge of the wire, you're going to end it like you started it. You're just going to take your round nose pliers and make a coil. And then you're going to press that down into the bead to make sure it's secure. And then I'm going to continue doing the same thing to the rest of the boho beads, using beads and wire that complement the boho bead that I'm working on. For this one, I cut a piece of silver wire that I'm going to put in the middle of the boho bead. And I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to wire wrap it. And make sure you smash down any sharp edges. And then I'm going to put the green bead on and a bead cap. And then I'm going to coil the wire that I'm going to wrap around the bead. And I'm going to start at the top and make sure I wrap it around the edge really good. And then I'm going to add some of the beads. I'm just going to keep adding the beads and wrapping the wire, just as we did before. And then I'm going to coil the end and press that down into the bead. Now I'm going to take my silver wire that has my green bead and a bead cap and place my boho bead on that. And I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the inside of the bead. And that's to make it hard. So as the glue, gets cool, the bead is going to be really hard on the inside. And then I'm going to place my other bead and bead cap on the other side. And use my flush cutters to cut the wire. And then again, I'm going to wire wrap and make a loop. And here is another boho bead. Isn't it so pretty? Now we're going to work on this one using pink and yellow beads. And I'm using the 26 gauge wire in this bright pink color. So I'm going to cut it pretty long because it's so thin. And then we're going to start by coiling the edge just as the others. And then push the edge down. And then start wrapping it around the top really tight, just as the others. And then we could add our really bright and pretty beads. I really like the colors of this one. It's so bright and pretty. It's my kind of colors. And then we're going to coil the edge and smash it down. Because this wire is so thin, I am going to take another piece and wrap it around the bead, but I'm not going to add any beads to it. I'm just wrapping it on top of the wire and the beads that we already have there. And then again, I added a silver wire to the center of this bead, and I'm going to wire wrap that. And then I'm going to do the other side, adding the bead cap, and then wire wrapping it. And again, we have another beautiful bead. So pretty. And I'm just going to continue doing the same thing to the rest of the boho beads. So pretty. I love this one. I love the colors. Okay, and these are the beautiful beads that we just made. I think they are so pretty. So pretty. Let me know which one is your favorite. And now we're going to go ahead and make a stretch bracelet. And I'm going to use this one on the bracelet. That's why I didn't put ends on it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So what you will need for this is some stretch cord. I have 0.8 millimeter. And you will need your round nose pliers and bent nose pliers. I have jump rings. I'm going to use gold. I have my beads these are from Bargain Bead Box from the month of August. So I'm going to go ahead and use these pretty blue beads. And these are magnesite and these are faceted crystal. And then these are blue agate. These are 6 millimeters. So we're going to use these to make some charms. Okay, so you want to go ahead and cut a piece of stretch cord. And of course you want it bigger than what you're going to need. And then also I'm going to use some of these gold beads. Just solid gold beads. And of course you need to pre-stretch your cord. Give it a good stretch. Okay. And now we're going to put on our boho bead. Okay, just like that. And now actually this is going to be the end. So I'm going to keep that here and then I'm going to work from this side. And you'll see why. So I'm going to put a bead stopper on right here. And then I'm going to use one of these larger gold beads. And then let's use 2 of the magnesite. And then another gold bead, a large one. And then 2 of the faceted crystals. And then let's do some more gold. Let's do the medium size. So the one next to the large. Do one of those. And then 2 more of the magnesite. And then let's do 2 of these gold, the medium size. Okay, and then 2 more of the magnesite. And then 1 medium gold ball. And then 2 of the faceted crystals. And then 1 of the larger gold. And then 2 more magnesite. And then 1 large gold. Okay, and this is what we have. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take out this gold bead right here, one of these. So we'll just have one there instead. Just because it's a little bit too large. Okay, so everything is still the same. I just took out that one gold bead. So this is the pattern. And now we're going to go ahead and tie it. Tie it once, pull, and then you want to go around twice. Pull. Then one more time. And then 2 more times. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here so this knot doesn't slip. And then cut your cord. And now the knot is hidden inside our boho bead. That's why I wanted to put that last, so this would fit in there. And then you could kind of angle this like that. And this is our boho bracelet. Oh, that is so cute. Isn't that cute? I love it with this. And I love blue and purple together. I think that looks so pretty. And what I'm going to do, you know, I got to take this one step further. And I will need some head pins. So hold on. Okay, now I'm going to make some charms. You guys know how I like. So we are going to use some of the blue agate and the turquoise. Okay, and all these are from Bargain Bead Box. So I have gold head pins, and I'm putting the beads on the gold head pin. And I'm going to use my one-step looper. Make sure it's pushed up all the way to the edge here, but not over. And I'm just going to continue to do that with those beads. Okay, so here are my charms. I made 2 with both beads and then 5 with just one bead. And we are going to attach these to jump rings and attach it to our bracelet. So I have this larger jump ring to attach 3 of the charms to one jump ring, and this is a larger jump ring. And then we can close this. And then we'll attach the rest of the charms to this jump ring. And then we're going to attach this to this. Go ahead and close it. Make sure it's closed good. And then we're going to take a larger jump ring and find the opening here. And then attach this smaller one to the larger one. And then we're going to attach this right here between the gold bead and your magnetite. Go ahead and close this. Okay. And that's it. That is so cute. I love our little boho bead. That is so pretty. I love it. And I love these colors. I think that is really pretty with our little charm dangle here. Very pretty. And here are all of the boho beads. Some that we made today and some that I made previously. But very pretty. Look at how pretty that is. I love these. I will definitely be making some more of these. I think they are so pretty. Let me know which one is your favorite out of these, and of course this one on our bracelets. But I really like this. I think that is so pretty. I love these. Well, you guys, let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.